Welcome back, everybody, to one of the most highly anticipated match of the day. It is IG versus DK, two of the Chinese juggernauts, and, well, two of the juggernauts who seem to have fallen. They're both sitting on 0-2 records. Joining me at the table is AUI 2000, or Kurt, and we're going to hop things right into our team introductions because, well, game's underway almost. So we're going to get into introducing Team Invictus Gaming. This team's been playing not as well as you'd have expected them to, Kurt.
Yeah, they definitely haven't been playing, like, IG Dota. That's...
Yeah.
For sure. And should I take IG?
Yeah, go. By all
so
means.
we have Zhao playing the 1 role. He's sort of... And we have Ferrari playing the 2 role. He's sort of known for his TA, his Invoker, his Panda, those solo mid heroes. He's really mobile in the mid game. He gets a lot of work done. We have YYF playing the 3 role. He's really famous for his win runner as well as sort of aggressive tri-lane heroes. Normally they put Zhou in the 1v1 in the short lane if that ever happens. And we have Tron, who's sort of the face of IG, playing the 4 role. He's known for his like Rubik, Chen, Winrunner. I also really like his Lina, though that's not on there. So, and we have Faith playing the 5 role. He's sort of not really in the spotlight for IG, as most 5 players aren't, but he's definitely
He drafts for them. He's not the actual captain, but he does do the drafting for them. And, well, drafting is what's taken a hit lately. We've actually knocked down a few points off IG. Their drafts, one of the main reasons to their losses yesterday, do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think the drafts were quite weak. I don't know what it is. Maybe it seems like they were almost testing things, but this is the G-1 LAN finals.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Well, the team they're going to be up against is going to be Team DK. We've got Burning. Well, he doesn't really need any introduction, known for his carry role. We've got the solo mid superstar, Super himself, known for his Beastmaster, his Brewmaster, these tempo controlling heroes. ROTK, the loudmouth off-laner player for Team DK. His Batrider, absolutely famous out throughout all of China. Then you have your 2 supports, the former solo mid player X, known for his Storm Spirit Tinker, still on our player cards, but he now plays that support role. And finally, it's QQQ. He's the 5th position support player for this Team DK. When all said and done, DK, another team, 0-2. They had the 1 loss against Alliance to the pocket strategy, and then they had a loss to LGD in a, well, very one-sided game. How do you think they bounce back, and how do you think they'll be doing today?
In their defense, LGD's been sort of having one-sided games for everyone this tournament. I think they have more than enough experience. Like, this is DK we're talking about. They definitely have been in these positions before. They'll know how to react. They won't get like hard on each other, and they'll know that if they play their game, then they have a good shot of winning against any team.
All right, before I pass over to the casters, predictions, DK or IG? Who do you think will take it?
I still like IG.
Okay.
I think that... Hi, casters.
Getting ahead of himself, Jarrett. Anyways, all right, IG, I agree. I think IG are going to take it. They went 0-2 yesterday, but IG are a team who will bounce back. But with that said, as you can tell, game is underway, guys. We're going to take it over to LD and Blitz.
Typical Kawa.
Spoiled the surprise Blitz. We were really excited for our new hairdos here, but we've had a lot of time to get our grooming done. But in the meantime, IG versus DK draft's underway, so I just want to get your prediction real quickly on the series.
For
series,
this one,
it's the best of 1.
I'm just going to keep picking the underdog. And eventually, you know, if I pick right, I'm going to make it look like a genius. So DK for me and an easy win, even though that's probably not going to happen.
I can actually see the draft right now just looking at Blitz's monitor. So because of that, I'm going to say IG. I'm already liking the way they're drafting. The draft is underway, guys. We'll hop into it now. The reason I like it, they get Batrider, they get Visage. And Visage has been winning a lot of games. They'll even go Alchemist here. DK has that big AoE lineup. They are pretty level and farm dependent, however. That's my one concern, but Blitz, we dive into the draft now. A lot of your standard Chinese bans, the Lifestealer, the Lone Druid, the Magnus, Bat actually got through because DK chose to ban a Shadow Demon, something that is a little bit uncommon in the Chinese scene, and there is a Wisp, neither team going for it yet.
Yeah, and if that's a YYF Bat, that's the scariest thing in the world. I mean, we saw in the G League finals last time, he soloed against Pycat, managed to solo kill him with just boots, and kind of like a subpar start.
Right.
And that man is scary. And then on top of that, I mean, they get that Visage that what was it, 16-3 so far in this tournament?
Between this tournament and the International 3 Eastern qualifiers.
And then we have Alchemist, who every time I see loses,
10 seconds
but I think this is the one, you know, that'll do it.
Let's see. Alchemist, the minus armor is going to be fantastic against Dragon Knight. So I love the pick here, and he can go aggressive tri-lane. He's decent in a 1v1 mid against a hero like Dragon Knight, should farm well. So we could see a solo mid Alch. That's something the Chinese teams have experimented with. They'll often rush a mechanism played as kind of not necessarily a hard carry, but more of kind of a tempo control. You can run Batrider safe lane, tri-lane the Visage +2, or you could tri-lane the Alch. They don't have to go aggressive, but I feel like because DK has... I mean, the one downside if you go aggressive is then Darkseer has a bit of a better time.
Yeah, definitely. And Darkseer actually a pretty good pickup here against the lineup. I'm actually really excited to see Gyrocopter coming into the metagame like this for the Eastern scene. I know that at one point they considered it a hero that doesn't really do too much, but really kind of seeing a resurgence. He always goes in the top 3, so I'm actually more interested in the bans right now. We get an Earthshaker ban out of DK in the first off the bat, and then countering that, Invictus Gaming bans the Silencer.
We saw that tri-lane yesterday, right? What was it? Earthshaker, Visage, and Twin-Headed Dragon, I think? That sniper tri-lane, it looks like that's what DK is worried about, where you can just get Soul Assumption at level 1, spam all the long-range stuns, and then just go to town and find a lot of easy kills. And for DK, it's probably going to be a gyro in that safe lane if IG go aggressive. So I think this is a smart ban. They'll now ban the Clockwork, and when you have 2 core melee heroes and a Darkseer and a Dragon Knight, this ban makes a lot of sense.
100% does, and Clock actually does a fantastic job against Darkseer, just being able to isolate him out, stop the surge with his cogs, and then you create such a large space where you can't fight.
Yeah.
And you don't want that against the lineup that you have right now. And actually, IG going to ban out all the supports, and Silencer's actually played as a support in the Eastern scene, so we see 3 quick ban of supports, but I mean, there is still a Rubik in the pool, LD.
There's a Rubik, there's a Chuan, there's a Dai in this game, or MMY as he's currently playing. This guy changes tags like every day, but currently it's MMY, exclamation point. And I would love to see the Rubik, really for either team, it would be pretty nice. Up against Darkseer, if IG want to run a defensive tri-lane, Rubik, Alchemist Stun, and Visage, they can easily kill a Darkseer. He would have to go jungle for sure if IG goes defensive. For DK, I mean, great in the tri-lane to set up something like a homing missile to get you in range for Rocket Barrage. So that's one of the high value supports we expect one of these teams will look to pick up.
Yeah, IG correctly realizing that the only thing that DK is really weak in is supports, so they're actually going to ban out 3 of them.
Kunkka gets some love and respect here. We saw what LGD can do when they get the hero. We'll see it banned out now. Not going to be coming out for IG, but they have the Batrider, they have the Visage Alchemist. Now, the last time I think I actually remember seeing IG run Batrider, they actually ran it as a 4-position support in the jungle. I don't think we're going to see that this game because it got heavily punished. They got a bit greedy with it, and it's one of their few recent losses. So, well, I think that was IG anyway. Might be thinking of a different team. But Luna's the pick for IG. So looking at probably a safe lane Luna, Batrider mid, and then a tri-lane Alchemist Visage +1.
Oh, you think so? I thought it was going to be, if anything, a Batrider off lane, an Alchemist mid, and then the tri-lane on the Luna.
That's the other option.
Yeah, or they could even offensive tri-lane like we've seen the Visage do almost every game, and then have the Batrider solo the safe lane.
Luna does pretty well against Darkseer though, because she's got really high base damage, so I mean she can last hit even under her tower quite well. You pull her, get the early Tranquil Boots. So if they want to run a safe lane, Luna is an option, but I mean like you said, that's certainly a suitable alternative putting the Alch mid.
And if we're debating it like this, imagine what DK is going through, where they're like, oh, there's so many different types of setups that they can run. And this is a really good strength of the lineup, where you pick a hero like Batrider, and you pick a hero like Visage. You don't actually tip your hand at any point, and it makes it difficult for DK to be like, okay, where are they going to go with this?
That's the beauty of the Visage pick, and it's also the beauty of getting something like Batrider early. You get a Dragon Knight early, IG know where that's going. That's going mid. There's really nowhere else to put it. He's not good in tri-lanes, he's not good in either aggressive or defensive, and he needs levels, he needs farm. He has to go mid, which means for IG it's much easier to plan out their draft in their lanes.
Yeah, definitely, and actually, I actually really like the Batrider for this sense because you can go anywhere with it. Like you said, IG's run it as a 4 before even. So when you pick it like this,
it's hard to deal with.
It makes it difficult for us casters to predict where the lanes are going to go, but even worse for DK is it doesn't really tip your hand.
Yeah, we don't have to figure it out. We'll see what happens. DK, they got to figure it out, or they could fall behind early. They go for the Rubik, so that'll go to MMY. They also deny it to Chuan. Although, I mean, the one other possibility if IG wanted to is to run support Alchemist. That's something Mouse Sports has done a lot, with Post usually playing it. Not something we see too much of in Chinese Dota. It's very potent, though. They'll finish the draft off with a Nyx. It's a bit of a greedy draft. They need a lot of levels. They need a lot of farm. This has hurt IG a bit in the past, but how do you feel in this game? Is it going to work?
I think in a lineup like this, DK doesn't really have the lineup to punish as hard. Not a lot of lockdowns for the heroes that they have, and I mean, Silencer was a perfect ban. Looking at it right now, for example, if the back goes in, then Silencer just has an easy ultimate, and then they can win the fight like that. But there's nothing like that for DK right now.
DK has a lot of control. They seem to have the advantage when it comes to AoE. For IG, it looks like they more want these kind of small-scale, scrappy engagements. Get an Alchemist stun, throw in an Impale, try to pick a hero off with Lucent Beam, a Lasso. For DK, their lineup wants to 5-man. They need a lot of items and levels to do it, but once they get to that point, I think they may have the advantage there.
Yeah, and the player that I'm going to look for here is ROTK. Last time he played that Darkseer,
Yeah.
he was kind of like the saving grace against that game against LGD where he picked up that triple kill I saw.
And that was, well, they lost the game. They lost the game like, what, 34-4, something along those
Yeah,
lines, and
exactly.
he had 3 of their kills.
So I think it's a player that a lot hinges on the game upon, where
5
if he
seconds
has a really
remaining.
good game, then DK has the ability to snowball, you know, and he's just kind of playing out of his mind because he gets ahead.
Yeah.
Or it's a player that, you know, is a little volatile in that sense as well.
So we're going to jump inside the game. Any moment now, the players start to select up their heroes. It's going to be Faith on the Nyx Assassin. That puts Joe on his signature Luna. 430 on the Alk, so looks like that's Solo Mid Alchemist.
Yep.
And up against the Dragon Knight, should be a pretty even matchup. Maybe you'd even give a slight edge to the Alk because farming under poison is very annoying.
Yes, and I actually, I was right. Yay. The Alchemist is going to go mid, but, you know, again, are they going to offensive tri-lane with a setup like this? Nyx is a support that really needs levels to really thrive.
So is Visage. You want to get the
exactly.
familiars.
So we might actually see them defensive tri-lane here, just because if Luna gets shut down and farmed in an offensive tri-lane setup, then that's actually terrible.
Okay, so
10
YYF on the Bat
seconds
Rider, it's either an
remaining.
off-lane bat or a tri-lane bat. I mean, if they want to do it, they could tri-lane Bat
5
Rider. We saw that
seconds
yesterday. Worked
remaining.
pretty
Yeah.
well. Visage, Nyx. The one thing is they lack that great initiating stun. Impale's all right. It's not that reliable. You do have Grave Chill, which is decent, but it's not a stun, right? You just slow them. You still have to get on top of them. So they are level dependent, but if they want to go aggressive, they can. It's just the beauty of their lineup having the options available. YYF is going to be rushing a bottle, and looks like he is going mid. So, well, we'll see how these lanes develop. But quickly, we'll introduce Invictus Gaming. 430 on the Alchemist, also rushing a bottle. Chuan on the Visage. Smoke picked up at level 1 on Visage. Faith on the Nyx Assassin. Sentries and Observers for him. Last but not least, it's going to be Zhou playing the Luna and rushing what looks to be a pair of Tranquil Boots.
Yeah, and for DK, Team DK, we've got QQQ playing that Lina. Burning, my personal favorite player.
Your soul. Get it right.
Oh my god, that video playing the gyrocopter. MMY gonna be playing that Rubik. Super with an exclamation point playing that Dragon Knight, and ROTK playing that Darkseer. And both teams kind of just meandering around the ancient camp. And LD,
Yes.
you know how I'm gonna determine this game?
How?
Who had the more
30
ridiculous video,
seconds.
Chuan or Burning?
Chuan has the more endearing video. Burnings is the more ridiculous one. You've got 30 Seconds to Mars, like the most emo, like 14-year-old man in the world. Which, by the way, I still like 30 Seconds to Mars quite a bit. Jarrett Leto, you're my hero, but very corny, very cheesy. I got to give DK the edge there. Chuan, well, he's Chuan. He's the lovable, huggable IG superstar. And looking at the items now for DK, Burning, he's starting with a magic stick. So they want to put this Gyro 1v1 against Bat Rider. How do you feel about this matchup?
Bat should win it. I mean, I talked with this about Kurt, and he believes that Bat should still win just because you can sticky and trade hits.
Yeah.
Correct? I don't want to put words in his mouth or
And,
something
and
like
it's
that.
he's right here. We'll just see if he nods or shakes his head. He's oblivious.
Okay,
he's
he has
zoning
no
out.
idea what's going on. But Gyro actually does quite decently against Bat, just because you can force him out with a flat cannon. Rocket Barrage can be cast, you know, despite the churn. There's no churn rate associated with it.
Right.
So if you dive, there's that option as well. And gosh, I'm actually really excited to see this matchup. I
And
mean, it's YYF
he
against Burning.
Oh my god, it's such an exciting matchup. Two living legends in Chinese Dota, and they'll be duking it out. Mid lane, it's going to be, well, your Alchemist versus your Dragon Knight. Doubt we're going to see anyone die here, but 430 already channeling the stun. He's even going to dive this tower a bit. Look at the damage. That's a Dragon Knight with 4 armor, and he just absolutely melts. And the beautiful thing is you get a bottle blitz, and you can spam this. Solo Mid Alchemist is no joke, and already we're seeing the power of it. Looks like he's going to have a pretty easy time in this lane.
Yeah, he's actually just going to force Super out of the lane. That's the one issue with putting a melee there. It's just because the acid creates this giant zone where you can't farm or even come close into contact.
I mean, you can farm there, you're taking damage, and if the even if the creeps hit you, it really adds up. And there's no stout shield on Super. He's actually dropping quite low. Both heroes should get their bottles soon, but the big lane we want to keep our eyes on is going to be this tri-lane versus tri-lane. ROTK on the Darkseer, QQQ on the Lina, and Dai on the Rubik. They have a lot of killing potential, but they haven't gotten the camp warded off, and already we see IG getting those levels. They're going to be pulling.
Yeah, this seems like a big mistake. I mean, Faith is actually just... He hasn't even had a plan to sentry here. He's actually just going to pull, and the more this happens, the level advantage just swings the other way. ROTK already out of mana, only has 322 gold, so not even close to a bottle, and I don't actually know how this is going to go.
We'll have a bit of a pause here. ROTK in the tri-lane, only level 1. I mean, you run this aggressive tri-lane, you want to get kills, and I do feel they can get kills. If IG get caught out, you catch, honestly, any of these heroes except for maybe Visage, because when he Grave Chills, he's very hard to bring down, because he gets faster, you get slower, but I feel like anyone else, you can probably kill them at this level. If Nyx gets level 4 or 5, then it gets a little bit trickier. Luna, she's fast, but she is squishy if she's caught out. So I think they can contest these poles with Ion Shell and with their AoE nukes. But they're actually just going to give up the tri-lane for the time being. They'll smoke, they'll head towards mid. It's an Alchemist mid, and I think they just feel like Super needs a little bit of help.
And this is something they absolutely have to do. I mean, Ferrari going to race up there, not going to find the rune, and I don't actually think he's going to go down. He knows that the supports are both missing, and I think Ferrari's a better player than to realize that
Yeah,
no,
look at his
he should be going for
positioning.
the rune. Yeah, he's just actually going to completely back off and wait. Because where could they possibly be? DK supports. There's not a lot of... I mean, they checked the trees, Chuan and Faith, and they looked around, and they see nobody. So obviously they're smoked, and they're going to be mid, and this is actually just more of a disadvantage to DK. They're actually not getting anything out of this.
Are they going to
so
abandon
far
the
behind.
tri-lane? You do have an offlane Darkseer. He's even just going to go jungle, it looks like. RTK is heading back to base, so DK forced to switch up their lanes. This actually is a big deal. This puts them very far behind. If Darkseer just started in the jungle, he'd already be level 3. He'd be stacking the big camp. Or if he's not already level 3, he'll certainly hit close to 4 or 5 once he kills off 2 or 3 stacks. They've missed a lot of opportunities for that QQQ. He's going to try to play catch-up here. He'll be stacking that big camp now. So that being said, they've already missed 2 stacks. This is going to put them pretty far behind. And YYF, he's seen them off the map for a long time. He figures they're probably in their own jungle right now. They might even be ganking me top. I'm just going to go jungle as well. So IG, perfect kind of retort to everything we're seeing out of DK so far.
Yeah, that was actually that game sense by YYF, and he's actually just pulling ahead in levels. Do you see what he did at top? He actually stacked that the large camp, killed that, got a level ahead of Burning, and he's just denying the supports any chance to do anything.
Yeah, and now he's playing safe. He's not getting picked off. He's already level 5 and change at 3.5 minutes. That's ridiculous. You can jungle really fast as Batrider, but this is making even more out of his powerful start.
Yeah, he's got 24 CS right off the bat, denies Burning quite a bit. I mean, Burning's at only 17, and that's the lane they absolutely need to get farm on him. I mean, the further they get behind, because their offensive tri-lane did nothing.
Seems like my computer has crashed here for a second, guys. Disconnected. Timed out. I'll jump back in, but hopefully not missing too much. Blitz, keep me posted. What's going on?
Things are happening. There's a clarity on the Dragon Knight. That's interesting. I don't see that very often.
Yeah, he's actually gone for a Magic Stick versus Alchemist, which is a little bit unusual. Hi, guys.
You need to do it, especially since the thing gets just spammed out. So I guess...
Yep, we're back in the game.
It lets you know when he's stunning as well.
Gave me a small heart attack there, Valve did, but they have mercy. We're back, and YYF's going to take the mid lane. I'll take the farm because 430, he got a haster in bottom, and I mean, just so much movement from Super. He's worried about the courier even getting sniped. He'll drop his bottle near the small camp, which means he's missing creeps a little bit. Actually, not too much since the wave was pushing, but IG, it seems like they're getting more out of the lanes right now. Take a look at the gold graph. It's pretty even. Experience a bit of a lead. It's not as bad as what I thought it would be, but I mean, I think you're pretty happy to trade if you're IG. You have a jungle Batrider. Darkseer, sure, he's jungling now, but he's level 3. Your Bat is level 6 nearly, and that he's going to do a lot more to control the game. Bat hit 6 can make things happen. Darkseer hits 5 or 6. Well, he's still got a farm.
Yeah, and look at how many camps he's actually getting out of this. He's actually going to be level 6, I believe, after this. And I love this rotation by Faith up here.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to come up here. They gave up the tower. They were like, okay, we can't defend this at all. So what instead we're going to do is we're going to let our Nyx pick up levels where their supports can't. And once that happens, LD, it means that Faith should be able to solo kill any of the supports on the map later on. And he's getting levels out of this. I mean, meanwhile, Chuan, he's level 3 as well. He can continue to pull. And then out of this, they're getting so much. YYF continuing to farm the jungle. That makes them unpredictable as well. The smoke comes off, and yeah, they actually don't know where IG is at all.
Level 6 already on YYF, 5.5 minutes in. Considering he also had to move from top lane towards the jungle, that's about as fast as you can humanly get it. DK, they took the tier 1 top early, but like you said, I loved Faith's rotation. He's already hit level 4. He's getting a lot out of the lanes. Right now, IG supports. They need levels, and they're getting them. Chuan's only 3. He's a tiny bit behind, but they're going to go for the wraparound. Let's see if they can find a kill. YYF with the lasso and the flame break, and Super looking pretty tasty, a little bit below full HP. YYF, is he going to go up the hill?
Ferrari pops the haste.
Oh no, this is bad for Super. This is going to be our first blood, almost certainly. Lassoed, pulled back into Acid Spray, and death follows through. Chuan throws in a Soul Assumption for good measure, and the tanky DK ain't looking so tanky anymore.
And Ferrari, just a great setup. I mean, he saves the haste to the last moment, doesn't give Super any time to react, doesn't pull a me and stun himself. I've done that more times than I can count, LD.
Well played. Well,
and actually, Chuan's going to get levels out of that, too. He picks up half of a level there, and YYF continues to just go back to the jungle, stack, and look how close he is to that Blink Dagger. That's insane.
6.5 minutes in, he's already got 1,500 gold. Generally, if you just jungle from the start, which could have been the other option, you know, you look at like 9, 10, 11 minutes, depending if you get a kill or if your team gets the tower, but he could have this even sooner, especially if he's able to sack the big camp. He's going to kill these creeps off before it spawns. He'll have to go back to base, but he'll be back there in time. So, I mean, just about as efficient as he can be. And the thing is, he's not just farming in the jungle. He's creating pressure. He's creating space. He ganked mid. This is why Batrider is usually banned.
Yeah, and this is actually the IG that I come to know and love. They play unpredictable. They don't... I mean, did you see DK supports rotate down? That was an obvious move. Ferrari doesn't fall for things like that. Whereas their supports... They're moving around the map, you know, they're stacking, they're pulling, and they're making themselves scarce.
Yeah, they show the Nyx top for a little while, then he disappears. They show the Visage bottom, then he smokes. You know, Batrider, he was top, then he's in the jungle. They're constantly shifting their lanes. It makes it a lot harder to keep track of, whereas for DK, they have 2 solos top and mid, and then they have 3 bottom. 3 bottom suddenly, or 2 bottom suddenly disappear, and you even had a ward over here. It's, like you said, just very obvious that they're moving. So, right now, we settle into kind of a passive style of play. Actually, the Dire leading in terms of gold by close to 1,000. That's just the tier 1 talking, because they got that top. And in terms of experience, a slight lead there. But, I mean, for me, it's all about this Blink. YYF's going to have one probably after he kills this camp. It's going to be close. And what can DK do if he comes in? It's the only really reliable way to deal with him is if Die can lift him.
Yeah, and I actually think once he gets that Blink Dagger, they're actually going to have to start playing 2 or 3-man Dota and protecting each other. And what that does is it opens up the rest of the lanes for IG to gank. And Joe actually has been just farming this entire time. Look at the 2 top farmers, YYF and Joe on that Luna.
Yeah, YYF has the Blink, hasn't bought it yet. Maybe just waiting because he doesn't want to show it. He could go to the side shop. He's going to wait for the lane to push in, and then I imagine he'll sneak in there. And you could even Firefly through the tree line. I don't know if DK are going to be ready for this. They can't even defend this tower now. If there's the Blink on YYF, he'll pick it up now. He's going to lead the way, I believe. Also, if they find a couple kills here, Faith will hit 6. He'll actually head towards the Ancients. He's going to cut off ROTK. Now he grabs him, pulls him back in. ROTK in trouble. Is he going to go down impaled? And yes, he is. Chuan snags a kill. Chuan now level 4. More importantly, Faith halfway to level 6. DK, they're just kind of getting pulled apart here. They're going to lose the tier 1 mid, and I feel like for IG, every time the lasso's up, they just do that again.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, 4 heroes all TPing back mid and top. They are not going to let anybody get a tower. Faith comes in, Burning is actually sticking around. He'll be Grave Chill. We didn't impale that. We didn't. Oh, sorry, that was a Carapace. Nope, that was an impale. Just didn't get the animation there. Well, a little bit odd, but Burning will escape. But IG, they're sort of playing like LGD did. They're just not going to give these towers up. Sure, they give up the tier 1 top, but that's a trade they're happy to make with YYF free farming the jungle. These next level of towers, they're going to defend them hard.
Yeah, definitely. I think that tower was actually a good trade, too. They got Faith a full level and a half out of that, and YYF was able to rotate to the jungle and pick up that quick Blink Dagger.
I felt like it was a little over-eager from DK. Generally, you don't want to take that tower that early unless you have a plan to get 2. Because if you don't, then the creep wave just sits at their tower, even if it's just for a few waves, and they get a lot more out of the off lane than they normally would.
Yeah, and definitely. And they actually, usually when you get an advantage like that, from there on, you use that gold advantage to swing into something like you said. But they weren't actually able to rotate or do anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, their supports got 2 quick boots out of that, and then they haven't rotated at all.
YYF, being a bat, hanging out in the jungle. A little disappointing. I want to see some kills. He's got the last 8 seconds. He'll be farming out towards the 4 staff, I imagine. And for IG, they're up by a little bit, 1,000 gold, 1,500 experience. Oh, we're actually going to see a smoke from DK heading towards the top lane. They want to shut down this pesky Nyx, but he's got Vendetta. Do they actually have detection? They have sentries on Super. Super isn't here. Oh, yeah, he is. Sorry. He'll come in first. He's going to lead the way. There's the sentry ward. They need to bring down Faith before he can Carapace. He can't. Well executed gank from DK. Smooth movement. And this is time when Nyx has level 6, hasn't used Vendetta, and is dead. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, on top of that, Super pops his ult. He's going to get some free hits on this T2. And I actually really like that smoking. I think they're not trying to force it anymore. DK, they're actually trying to just kind of set up very smooth. I mean, they can't really fail with ganks right now.
By the way,
especially with YYF with the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, by the way, we're going to see a bit of a divergence here in style for the carry players. Burning is going to rush a Helm of the Dominator. He's already stacked the Ancients once with his Darkspore Warlord. He'll continue to do it. As for the Luna, we're going to see Zhou just head directly into a BKB. So it looks like IG, they want to be the aggressors in this game. YYF trying to contest those neutrals, blinks in, pulls RTK up towards the cliff, but he won't actually be able to do it because he got Dragon Tail by Super. Doesn't matter. Faith blows up one. RTK on the run. They'll still find the kill, and now the gank party has arrived. RTK actually went back in there, thought he could have just ran away to safety, chooses the fight, pays the price. Now Faith, actually a gyrocopter ult doing a lot of work, but Joe comes in with Eclipse, does a bit more. Dies. He stole an Eclipse. He's going to come in from the backside. Can he get in range? This could be bad, but the familiars are here. Eclipse comes out, not doing enough to kill anyone off. I think he might go down. The familiars on the chase. Oh man, that Visage, too much.